This one is deeply disturbing on so many levels. Watch the video first and then I'll tell you what happened. That's doorbell camera footage of teenagers, as the media calls them. A 16-year-old who hasn't been named, an 18-year-old Nathan Atito Dilchukwu, throwing a lit firework into the home of 76-year-old Robert Price in Dagenham, East London, in an area that's only 42% white and falling fast. Price perished in excruciating pain, literally burning to death. But the backstory to this adds another dimension of barbarity. Notice the destroyed garden wall and boarded up windows. That's because Price had been subjected to years and years of this torture. His neighbour told the court Price would never leave his house because kids would disturb him, and his windows were boarded up because the local kids would routinely smash them. 3 days before his death, a brick was thrown through the window. This would happen all the time and they would make his life hell, said the neighbour. The attack that killed Price was the second time he'd been targeted on that very day. The same teenagers had attempted to hurl a firework into Price's home, only for him to open the door and for them to run off yelling, "He saw me, fam," while letting loose a high-pitched cackle. The audio from the doorbell footage, which was played in court, reveals the killers saying they're gonna effing torch this N-word and we're gonna F you up. But wait until you hear what happened to the culprits. Admitting what he'd done to a social worker, Atito Dilchukwu said, quote, "I'm gonna do 20 years in jail." In a callous twist of irony, this prediction proved way off the mark, because in sentencing the killers, the judge was significantly more lenient. Judge Rebecca Trowler, KC, told them they made a determined effort to carry out this offence and cause harm, just short of serious harm. Just short of serious harm? The guy burned to death in harrowing agony. She told one defendant he had poor impulse control and a lack of appreciation of the impact on others. Really, you don't say? But believe it or not, these were used as mitigating factors to give them lighter sentences. And despite the teenagers clearly intending to kill Price, they weren't charged with murder, they were charged with manslaughter. The younger one being given a paltry 2 years and 8 months. He'll probably be out in 18 months, while Atito Dilchukwu was jailed for just 6 years. 72 months for torturing and immolating a defenseless old man in his own home. Despite having previously been convicted of carrying a knife in both 2023 and 2024, and given that violent offenders are being released after serving just 40% of their sentence, he'll probably be walking the streets again in 3 to 4 years. Not much longer than the prison sentence given to Lucy Connolly over an offensive Facebook post. What the police were doing during the years of harassment and torture that Price endured isn't known. I'll take a wild guess though. Probably fuck all. Studies have been done to show that the flavonols in cocoa stimulate stem cells to come out of your bone marrow, like bees coming out of a beehive in your bloodstream. They go out and they find whatever needs to be repaired. If it's in your heart, they'll fix it. If it's in your liver, they'll fix it. If it's in your skin, they'll fix it. But don't take it from me. Let me show you a clip from Harvard scientist Dr. William Lee that actually backs this up.
Well, clinical studies have been done with high flavanol cocoa to show that in like men who are in their 60s with heart disease, they could actually just have 2 cups of dark chocolate hot cocoa a day for a month. Yeah. And they doubled the amount of stem cells in their bloodstream and their circulation improved measurably.
That's right, dark chocolate. But here's the thing, flavanols are the good stuff found in cocoa beans, but they're usually destroyed during the chocolate making process. That's where Black Forest supplements comes in. This right here is not just any old cocoa, it's a stem cell power-up. If you're experiencing significant aging, slow recovery, weak immunity. Blame your lazy stem cells. But guess what? Cocoa flavanols activate them. Like a fountain of youth in a scoop. By naturally producing more stem cells, your body is going to repair tissues, help with faster healing, glowing skin, and immune support. And best of all, it's only 20 calories with no sugar. Mix it with your coffee or your protein shake. It tastes amazing. Meanwhile, Hollywood elites are dropping insane amounts on placenta stem cell injections. Facials that can run from $15,000 to $40,000. Instead, this high flavanol cocoa powder can naturally support your body's own stem cell production. I've asked my friends at Black Forest Supplements to give you a special discount. They're doing a 40% off cocoa relaunch promo for the next 48 hours. So I highly recommend that you guys go ahead and get it ASAP. Because this offer only runs for 48 hours and they usually run out of stock. So click the link in the pinned comment and description and stock up while you still can. As Ben Sixsmith writes, Tito Dilchukwu will be out when he's 24, if not earlier, and with his whole life ahead of him. Mr. Price, on the other hand, has no life ahead of him whatsoever, and he must have had an extremely painful death. If someone has poor impulse control and lacks appreciation of the impact of their actions on other people, that sounds like an argument for keeping them in jail for longer. Prison is not just about punishing people, but incapacitating them. Quite simply, it keeps dangerous people away from people who are not dangerous. Burning to death in a boarded up house after a campaign of harassment and abuse by a pack of feral foreign teenagers in an unrecognisable neighbourhood that once used to be filled with family and friends. Heartbreaking. I wonder how many more have this to look forward to. Naturally, if white youths had carried out this barbaric attack against a black man, there'd be wall-to-wall media coverage, national hand-wringing, and calls for life sentences. As it is, it's barely a footnote. While it's not been revealed whether Price's killing was racially motivated in any way, the fact that he lived in Dagenham, an area that went from being 96% white in 1981 to just 31% white British in 2021, once again illustrates that such horror stories are destined to become increasingly commonplace, as sweeping demographic changes quicken our descent into a low-trust, high-crime society. A new report reveals that white British people will be a minority in the UK in just 40 years, and that by the end of the century, native Brits will comprise just 1/3 of the population. In other words, the entire country will be just like Dagenham, which routinely ranks as London's most dangerous area for violence and sexual offences, and is in the top 20 most dangerous cities in the country.
What the fuck? There's just been a shooting.
As soon as 2050, white Brits under the age of 40 will be a minority in their own country. My own son being one of them. And by the end of the century, little over 1 in 4 young people will be white British. Bear in mind, these are conservative predictions. Such forecasts have routinely underestimated the pace of the change. By 2100, 6 in 10 people in the UK will either have been not born in the UK or will have at least one immigrant parent. The majority won't be able to trace their roots in the UK back more than 1 or 2 generations. A deracinated island of strangers with all the devastating consequences that brings. Minority white people will be the target of widespread brutality and terror. That's just the way it works. Identity discourse builds a pathological grudge culture which legitimizes racial violence. Any means necessary? We ain't seen nothing yet. Unless these demographic trends are reversed, Robert Price's demise will become a horror story told again, and again, until we're literally facing the necessity of some kind of Zimbabwe-style exodus, merely in order to escape what we're constantly told is our greatest strength. If you value what I do and you want to help support me, please visit pauljosephwatson.locals.com and either pledge a one-time donation or subscribe to join my community, get early access videos, and message me directly. And exclusive live streams coming soon too. Promise. Check out the Locals link down in the description. And don't forget to take a look at the brand new website, modernity.news. That's where you'll find all my content, including exclusive articles. That's modernity.news.